Hey, everybody. Welcome to another quick take from the Allison+Sports podcast series. I'm Shane Wynn, joined by my colleague Shane Arman. Shane, yesterday and really starting on Thursday, the NFL did a complete reboot of its Pro Bowl, changing it from a traditional football game format to a series of challenges, everything from a dodgeball tournament to non-football, like a longest drive competition, which is a golf competition, which, you know, you're a big golf fanatic. I'm sure you've got an opinion on that, to a marquee series of 3 flag football games instead of a traditional tackle game. Why did the NFL do this? And give me your impressions.
First and foremost, they did it for safety. I mean, the NFL, I think, if you've been paying attention, is really all about protecting its players. And there, in recent years, have been a lot of injuries that have happened in the Pro Bowl. But last year in 2022, the Pro Bowl had its lowest viewership in 15 years. The NFL had to do something to try to save this moment in time, which is a really prime piece of real estate to reach consumers in between the championship games and the Super Bowl. So a really interesting mix of different events, kind of a test and learn strategy of let's throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. And I think the feedback is still coming out, but it'll be interesting to see how it's received by fans and viewers.
Yeah, I mean, I thought some of it was kind of fun, actually. I mean, I get where they're coming from with the flag football. Like, I read a statement from a spokesperson from the NFL who was talking about how flag football is actually one anchor point of their broader strategy on the popularity of football, because it's a little bit more inclusive, a little bit more accessible. Both men and women, boys and girls, play the sport. So I thought that was kind of an interesting take on it. What did you think of the longest drive competition?
I mean, I thought it was great. You know, it makes a lot of sense. The Super Bowl, of course, is in the Scottsdale, Phoenix area. The Waste Management Phoenix Open is happening. So I think there's a lot of eyeball and conversation around golf. We know a lot of NFL players play golf. Josh Allen, specifically, of course, for the Buffalo Bills, one of the top stars in the NFL, said he had an injury, couldn't make it to the Pro Bowl, but meanwhile, he was playing at the Pebble Beach Pro-Am. So golf is definitely a way to draw over some cross pollination. So I think that was a smart move by the NFL.
Yeah. So, I mean, the NFL obviously is becoming this big 365 days surround sound set of programming, you know, throughout the on season and the off season. And this is just another example, I think, of them building that out. It is a really interesting moment in time, because if they move forward next year and continue to test and refine this kind of an idea for a reimagined Pro Bowl, I have to imagine that there's opportunities for brands. Like, what should a brand be thinking about in a moment like this?
Yeah, you're spot on. I think if you watched, Thursday's broadcast and then Sunday's broadcast, there weren't a lot of brand integrations or brand messages being delivered in that time frame. No. So you have a pretty wide open space. And I would say the NFL has a lot of, of these initiatives, whether they're, charity focused, maybe there's something a current sponsor or even a non-sponsor could come in and do from a charitable standpoint. I mean, one thing I would love to see is more fan involvement in the actual contents of the games. I mean, I think, with the Manning cast, you have the Manning brothers coaching these two teams. I think we're going to see that continue, but how do we bring fans closer to the action? How do we get more up close and personal with these NFL players who are not wearing their full helmets and pads and everything? So it's a great way to shine through some of the personalities. So I would ask a brand, is there a couple individual player endorsement deals that they could think about wrapping into something?
Sure.
Over the course of that weekend. It is a weekend. It's not just one game. It's Thursday and it's Sunday. So you have both primetime live slots. It's not taped anymore. So a lot of good opportunities.
All right. Well, interesting first year for a completely reimagined Pro Bowl by the NFL. I think you're right. I think brands probably do have a unique opportunity here moving forward. I think some of it was fun. Some of it was, but I applaud them for having the gall to reimagine this. So, all right, everybody, thanks for joining us for this quick take on a reimagined Pro Bowl. We'll see you soon.